Hi guys, so today I'm going to make a different soap involving peachish colors and orangey colors. Let's just get away from that pink and purple. And I am sorry, the lighting today is especially horrible, okay? Supposedly it's supposed to, what's the word? Snow in Atlanta, meaning it's going to be pretty cold even out here in southern Georgia. So it's just horrible weather. It's crazy. So I'm trying to fix this, and this isn't looking too good either. So anyway, we'll just try to use this light and see if we can do the best we can. So today I'm going to quickly show you what we're going to use, and I'm not sure if I forget something or if there's something new along the way I add that in. Of course, at the beginning of the video I'll have what you need. So let's just start. I'm going to make a couple of bars of soap that we're going to shave using a grater, which I just forgot to bring out the grater. I got one at the dollar store and it looks like it's going to work really well. So just whatever cheap grater you have is fine, like a cheese grater. But this mold came from Hobby Lobby and it's just a bar soap, so we're going to make a couple of bars so that we can grate. You're also going to need the main mold, which is this one here, and you guys saw that I just picked this up at Joann, and I think it's $10.99. Of course, you can get it on sale with your coupons or whenever they go on sale. It's from Wilton. It's Easy Flex, and it says 4 cavity mini loaf pan. So I'm going to make little mini loaves. Oh, while I sit here or stand here doing this, my baby is kicking me. It's kind of fun. It's kind of weird now that she's bigger, so like even when I'm standing up, I can feel her. So it's kind of always a fun thing. So as you can see, they're mini loaves pans, and it's a silicone pan. So I'm gonna make one. I'm assuming it's gonna take maybe a pound or a pound and a half of soap, so because they're not that big, and I'm just making the one. So we're gonna need that. You're going to need also your heart mold, because I'm gonna be inserting little hearts at the top of the loaves. And this is also from Hobby Lobby, but you can find a heart mold anywhere. Wilton has these a little bit smaller, different sizes, because they look just like the candy molds, and they're basically the same thing. So I'm gonna use that. As far as scenting and coloring, I'm still going to be using that same kit from Michaels. I love this kit. It's $22.99. Get it with your coupon, and it has really nice oils in there. So this, I'm going to be using the melon and the vanilla because it's going to be kind of orange, so I wanted to go with the melon. You can use mango, you can use whatever kind of goes with that orange color. I'm going to be using orange soap dye, not food coloring, okay? This is soap dye. You can find this at any store, craft store. Also, I had picked this one up at Michael's by Art Minds, and it has a peach color in it, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use the orange because I do need the orange and the clear glycerin soap to be darker, brighter, so I'm gonna go with that, but you can always use the one that's already set up for peach. The base of the loaf is gonna be the shea butter soap, which I'm in love with. It's so nice and delicate. Really, as you use it, it doesn't lather a lot because it's more rich. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a creamier feeling, so it's not really like a soapy soap, but it's really good. So I'm using that shea butter soap. This is Life of the Party brand. And then I'm going to use some clear glycerin. I'm not going to show the whole bag because it's huge. Again, from Hobby Lobby. It comes in little bricks like this, and it comes in a big bag. So I'm only using this because it was a little bit cloudy last time I used it, but for this project it'll work just great. So we're going to need a few ounces of that. Something to cut your loaf with. I'm going to be using either a straight edge or a serrated one, and some different little implements, tools, you know, like your spoons and measuring cups and things to measure out the soap. So what I'm going to do is get some soap going. I'm going to put maybe, well, let me clear this out. Maybe half a pound, 3/4 of a pound of the clear that we're going to make the loaves, not the loaves, the soap bars that we're going to grate out of. So with Hobby Lobby, like I said, I'm assuming these are about a couple ounces each. So I'm just going to take a couple of these and cut them a little bit smaller just so it makes it easier to melt. I'm going to put them in this receptacle that I got at the dollar store, and these work like a dream, guys. They clean up real easy. Somebody asked me, how do you wash out the implements to use like these? It's soap. What happens is if you just let it set up, you can just pull it right off and you can reuse it for something else, what's left on there if there's a lot, and then just soak it. It doesn't take very long for it to come off. It's just soap, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to use however many there. I'm going to put this in the microwave, 30-second bursts, 10 seconds in between, and melt this down. Now that it's melted down, there's still a couple little chunks there. I'm just going to let that melt with the ambient heat from the rest of the soap without reheating it too much. I had to take the little lid off because the already wasn't coming out, but this is the melon scent. And I'm going to put it in a good, maybe a teaspoon, that mixes in, because I want the melon, since this is gonna be shreds, you want it to be scented very heavily, because that way the vanilla and the loaf doesn't just take up all the scent. And I'm just gonna squirt, that was 6 drops of orange, and I'll probably do more than that because I want it orange and not yellow the way it looks right now, and I want it very bright, dark should I say, compared to the contrast of what the peach the shea butter, the shea soap. Is it shea? Yeah. Okay, so I probably ended up putting in maybe 12 good squirts of this, and that melon scent is so nice. It comes out really nice. Smells very good, very good, very good. Okay, so what we're gonna do is just bring over our mold. I have right in front of me. I don't know why I'm looking for it. It's right here. Be careful to move this and not knock it over. And I'm just gonna fill in as many of these loaves as it can do of the soap. This is just a regular soap mold, and I was gonna just do 2, but it looks like it might do more than that. So I'm gonna pour it out. Just make a full loaf. We're gonna shred this up, so it doesn't really matter how it looks. Of course, with your soap, if you're making this soap just to make a bar of soap, that clear chunk just went through, you're gonna definitely wanna spray the top to get the air bubbles out. So this is just a bottle with the alcohol. I think I forgot to mention that. And just spritz the top and get that removed, okay? So with the rest of this, I'm just gonna make another bar. And we're gonna let these set up, and then we'll start working on the hearts. For the hearts that we're gonna embed in the top of the soap, I'm just using a couple little bricks of the white glycerin soap. I didn't show you this at the beginning, but I had some left over, and I'd rather use this than the shea butter. This one's cheaper, and the shea butter, you know, why not? So pure glycerin soap is the opaque or white one. And I'm just using 3 bricks, just about. The other one looks like it was less than that, maybe 2.5 bricks. So I'm gonna melt this. It's not gonna take very long because it's very little, and then we're gonna scent it and color it and make some hearts. Again, there's just a little chunk in there that needs to melt. So I'm gonna add the melon. And since it's very little soap, that was probably about half a teaspoon. And I want this to come out a brighter orange that I'm gonna make the base of the loaf, okay? So I'm putting in quite a bit. As you see, because it's white, it's not gonna take the color on as brightly as well. So I'm probably gonna make the soap about this color. So I'm gonna try to add a little bit more because I want this one to be a deeper orange, oops, than the loaf. Just so it kind of contrasts with that. You can make it white, you can make it with the clear soap, that'd be cool too, whatever you want. Maybe just a little bit more. So it's a color you like. And you can also always make orange with, if you have red and yellow, you can just mix it yourself, correct? Okay, so this one's more of a peachy tone, and that's kind of what I like, because I think the soap is going to be very mildly orange, in my opinion, is what I want to do. So here is my mold. Oh, the light's kind of making that look kind of crazy. And I'm just gonna pour out as many hearts as this will make. And if you have a lot of air bubbles and you want to get rid of those, definitely do that. I'm gonna keep mixing this though because I have a little bit of white chunks in there that I still want to get out. So as soon as this is ready, I'm gonna keep pouring out hearts. So while the hearts are hardening up, you wanna make sure these are gonna be nice and firm, you know, for later. I have my bars here that are pretty much cooled off. I think they're okay. And this is kind of what I want to show you. See how it's still not super clear. It's still a little bit mottled, kind of a frosty look. So that soap, it just does not get that clear. And it does look a little bit clearer because of the color that's in there, so that's cool. But these are the 2 bars we'll be using. But as you can see, it's still kind of frosty. Like, you can't really see my hand through there. And somebody had asked about that. They said, oh, maybe when I used it last time, it looked frosty because I used a silicone item to mold it in, but I said, yeah, but it should still be pretty clear. Even the ones I had used in the hearts didn't come out that clear. So as you can see my hand through it, but it's not like super, super clear. Oops, sorry. I'm dropping things over here. This one, it was just extra, and then all I did at the end was I threw in a heart that I had from the other day, a white heart, and it's gonna be really cute, just a little soap with a heart in it. But anyway, so we're gonna take out the bars that we're gonna use to, shred, and all I'm gonna do is just take a, you know, another receptacle, something to hold it in, and I'm going to use the larger side of these guys because I want this to be pretty big. This I just picked up at the dollar store just the other day. It is Cooking Concepts brand. That's it. It has a small grater, which is fine too, that'll be real cute, but I'm going to use the larger side just so you can see them a little bit better, and hopefully my lighting, I don't know what to do with this lighting. Anyway, all I'm going to do is just take the soap and just grate it like you would cheese, okay? Just keep going. This is hard for me to do because where I have that lighting source and everything. But so I'm just gonna go ahead and continue grating this until both of the bars are gone, and it should almost fill up this little area. This is only about 1.5 bars, and I think that's plenty. It's about a cup of little shreds, and they're really cute, and it smells so awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys. As soon as I started peeling it, I could smell it. It smells so good. So I'm gonna put that to the side, and all I'm gonna do is bring out my shea butter. I'm gonna use half of this. This is 32 ounces, so half is a pound. And I think it's gonna be enough to make maybe even more than one. We'll see. But I'm gonna use a pound to begin with. So if you see that it's too much and you guys like to save your materials, then definitely don't do a whole pound. You might want to do 3/4 of a pound or whatever I end up doing. But I'm assuming it's about a pound because, like I said, it's a new mold and I'm not real sure exactly how much is supposed to go in there. So I'm gonna take this other half and put it away and just put the lid back on and it'll be good for another day. And I love the shea butter soap. I like putting things in it because it's a little bit thicker than the glycerin soap, so it really hangs on to stuff. It just is easy to work with. But you gotta work kind of quickly with this guy, if I recall. It starts hardening or getting a skin pretty quick. So I'm gonna be putting it in this larger white bowl and I'm just cutting along the line so it's easier to melt. And I'm gonna put it in the microwave and I think you start at 30 seconds and then you check every 10 seconds until it's melted, okay? So that's all I'm gonna do and I'll come back when it is melted and ready to pour. It's still melting. I'm going to, I'm just gonna prepare this so that when it's ready to pour. So all I'm doing is throwing in the little shavings. It looks like this is probably plenty because it's gonna be quite a bit. You kind of fill it up. As you can see, that was probably 3/4 of what I had shaved. And I'm gonna take my alcohol spritzer and just spray it. And you can just toss it with your hands or toss it around. You really want the alcohol to get in there so that everything wants to adhere to the soap when you pour it, okay? So now let me go get the soap and hopefully it'll be ready to go. I'm trying to get some of those extra little lumps I can feel in there out, okay? And so I'm just gonna very lightly color this. Like I said, I want it to be lighter than the little hearts I made. So that's maybe about 3 little squirts of coloring. So it still kind of has a lot of white base to it. So I'm just on my tripod. I already popped the hearts out too while this was still heating up. That way, it's not something I have to deal with. Oh, there goes my spoon. Okay, let's do 5 drops. And I gotta fish this guy out. Let me grab something. Oh, somebody asked me where I got these spoons. They're just from Target and they're in the picnic section. They're basically spoons to eat ice cream with. I've never seen them before. They're from that Diamond brand. The people that make toothpicks or whatever. Anyway, I think that's good enough. So it's just a little bit light orange. The lightest color of orange you're ever gonna see. And then I want to scent it also, and I forgot to open this up while... You don't want the soap too hot anyways. You don't want to start melting the other soap that you already have in the mold. So you kind of want to wait for the soap to be about 125 degrees. I do not have a measurer for that, so a thermometer, so I just eyeball it, kind of feel it and all that. So you're supposed to put a tablespoon of fragrance per pound of soap, but I just threw in what I think is good. Oh, it smells so good. So that was the vanilla. All right, so let's bring this guy back. And I'm just going to simply pour this over. And it should be thin enough that it gets underneath the soap. And see how some of it starts bunching up, starts bubbling up and everything. So cute. That's what I thought. So yeah, it holds pretty much exactly a pound. I'm gonna stop right there. I have a little bit here that I can still use. I'm gonna pour it into this Loaf soap, extra soap mold. Because I'm gonna shove those hearts in there and I don't want it to come up over the edges of the mold here. If I keep going, possibly can do that. So let's spray because there are some air bubbles and look how quickly it gets rid of those. And I'm just gonna wait a few seconds here before I put the hearts in because you want it to set up a little bit so that it can hold the hearts without them falling in. And basically what I'm gonna do is try to space the hearts out so that when I cut the soap, that's where the heart is gonna be. So it'll probably hold 4 or 5 hearts by the time I'm ready. See, it sets up pretty quick. That little drip is already set up. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that soap. Okay. Let's see here. Again, I'll just keep waiting. I'll probably wait another 30 seconds. I started putting some because I wanted to see if it was about time. It's been probably 5 minutes that I've been waiting because it's really hot still. And the first time I put it in, kind of wanted to keep sinking in. So what I did was I waited even longer and I think this is going to be fine. So like this one, what I did was I cut a little area where I'm gonna want to put it and see how the soap comes up, and just give your item a spray, alcohol, and put it right in. So I think what I'm gonna do is probably 4 pieces for this one. See how it wants to kind of follow forward, but what's cool is that there's a nice skin on top of the soap that's helping hold it up. So I'm gonna leave it just like that. I'm gonna make one more little cut right here and place one more, and we're just gonna lay it set for hours until it's ready to come out. Okay, it's still a little bit warm, but I wanted to go ahead and do this because my kids are gonna come home soon. Also, when you are grating the soap, be very careful not to cut yourself. I wasn't even that close to the grater, and of course I cut myself, and I forgot to mention that earlier. I had different Band-Aid on at the time, so be very careful. But this guy, it's a little bit warm, but check that out. I love the way it just pulls away really easily. So cute. It smells so good. I love when I make soap because I'm telling you, I walk into the room and I'm like, there's been some soap in here. It just smells really good. I'm gonna kind of open this up this way. A lot of people just flip it over, but since I have the hearts on the top, I don't want them to like bust off or something. It is really warm still, guys. I'm afraid to cut it because even when I don't know if you can see, it made a little dent from when I pulled it out right now. So, okay. I'm only cutting it, like I said, because I want you guys to see what's going on here, but I'm going to use a straight cutter. I was going to use the serrated one, but I think I want what's in the soap to kind of stand out and not just, oh, you know, it has a lot of loops and I don't know. I just think it'd be easier to see. So I'm going to shave the very end of this off because it's cute. I don't mind. For me, I would just leave it. But since, you know, I might give this away, I wanted to cut that piece off so it looks a little more uniform. And then I'm going to cut the front. And I'm going to do it that way because it is still really warm and I don't want to mess with too much of this poor thing. So I'm just barely shaving the very end of that off. And this cutter I got at Michael's. And it works really well. Like I said, the one I had before was great, but I can't find it. Okay, so I just cut that very last piece off. And I'm gonna kind of eyeball where I want to cut this guy. And just press straight down. Just push it straight down. It is really warm. So I'm only gonna cut this one piece and then I'll cut the rest of it off camera and I'll have some pictures of it for you guys once it cools off completely. Okay, there it is. Let me try to get it off this thing here without slicing my finger. It's just really warm, so it wants to stick instead of just slicing. So there it is. Probably not the best slice here because like a lot of the little shards are missing, but look at that. Oh, the lighting is so horrible. I'm so sorry, guys. So I'll have more pictures for you, like I said, once I cut it all so you can kind of have a better idea. But look at the little shards in there. It looks like orange peels. But of course, it's a melon scent, and then it has a little heart. So each little piece will have a little heart. Super cute. Wrap it in some cello paper, some, you know, saran wrap, whatever you like. A little bag with little twist ties. Super cute. I think I have one more idea for Halloween. For Valentine soap. I'm basically going to use up all the different little pieces. I have all these things left over, these shavings. I have this piece that isn't shaved. I have some purple from the first few things we did. So I have a feeling I'm going to do something with this and just to finish it up. But I want to show you real quick the extra soap that I had poured out earlier from just making this project. I made this one here with the heart in it. And then this one, I just used the little kind of peach colored base. And then I had a little more of the orange left over and I poured that on top and it's just kind of swirled in the middle. You can't see it, but I can see it up close. It looks pretty cool. So just, you know, another idea, or just keep it for another day. So I'm gonna slice this up and hopefully you guys like this one. I really like the size of this soap. I like the scent of it and I think it's a good place to start if you have that little mold there. So see you at the next one. Bye now.